So, Alien cubed.
What? I don't think I heard you in the mic.
Alien cubed.
Aliens are in the cube?
No, look at the title, dude. It's obviously mathematical cubed.
Alien to the third power. So there's 3 aliens.
I wish that was the case. But no,
Okay.
sadly no.
Okay, yeah.
Is it following
okay.
the square cube law of biology?
What's the square cube law?
What is
It's
it?
where the size of the organism generally dictates how the structural components of it. For example, ants
I
cannot
thought that
get
was it.
huge, like, 1950s monster movie huge. Godzilla couldn't
them.
exist, and smaller animals generally are more durable than their larger counterparts.
Okay.
Also, it kind of works with robots. Robots can't really move without breaking apart because they're so big and gravity works.
Oh, gravity works.
And gravity works.
Ah, gravity, thou art a heartless bitch.
But,
That just reminds me of Futurama.
yes.
You win again, gravity.
What, you guys don't get that quote?
No.
No.
Big Bang
What did you
Theory.
quote?
I
Oh.
haven't been keeping up with it.
Which season is that?
First.
Because
first one.
Oh, I haven't seen all the first one because TV only plays like the second and third ones.
And they keep playing the later ones.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we're talking about Alien 3, or as it's titled, Alien Cubed, Alien to the Third Power. It's weird.
It's weird.
It's a weird title.
It's a weird movie.
I'm on the fence about this one. It's kind of like how I'm on the fence about Man of Steel. Although with DCEU's track record in their movies, it honestly might be one of the best ones. Second only to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. It's way over there on my shelf. Alien 3, this is kind of what's very interesting about the franchise as a whole, is that it has different directors, so you have like different visions telling this story.
Well, it's kind of funny because Ridley Scott is a good director. He gave us the first one. James Cameron, also a good director. He gave us a good one. David Fincher is a good director. You have to look no further than Fight Club and Seven.
Yeah. I have seen Fight Club only once. I actually kind of thought that ending was depressing.
Yes.
And I do own Seven. Haven't seen it yet, but everyone knows about what's in the box.
Yeah. And
I don't.
It's gonna be hard to actually watch Seven since Kevin Spacey is in that movie.
yeah.
And after that whole fiasco.
But okay, that's neither here or there. That's on your shelf. But
Okay.
David Fincher. It's not his fault that this movie sucked. Honest to God, it's not his fault. In fact, he was a replacement. Brought in to replace I don't know how many other directors.
I have no idea.
And honestly,
Vincent Ward was first, apparently.
so Vincent Ward, I don't even know what he did.
Oh my god, apparently Ridley Scott himself was actually offered the director's chair for this one.
Yeah.
That probably would have been better.
He turned it down.
Now, mind you, David Finch, this is his first debut, if I recall.
Really?
Theatrical film.
His first theatrical film.
Yes.
Okay, so
Because he was doing MTV.
he might have been doing music. So he was doing music videos.
He was doing music videos. So this is the first time in the director's chair producing a movie for the first time. With, mind you, late in the game after visionaries, writers, I don't know how many writers in this one, clashing together, trying to figure out mine is better, no mine. And this is the movie we get.
Let's see, hold on. It said first-time director David Fincher disowned the film, stating in 2009 that, to this day, no one hates it more than me.
That's kind of sad when the director hates it.
Ooh, yeah. He
Yeah.
cited constant studio interference,
Mhm.
always a bad sign.
Always a bad sign.
Actually, commonly a bad sign.
Commonly,
Remember what we said about Alien,
yep. Commonly a bad sign.
okay? And actually walked out of production when the studio ordered reshoots. He was not involved with final editing, but he had delivered a rough cut that became the basis for the assembly cut, otherwise known as the special edition, again, which I had seen. A longer version of the movie later released on DVD and Blu-ray. Fincher did not personally work on this assembly cut and stated that he has no comments on it, as he has never seen it.
So, this is what I actually call troubled production. This is a real troubled production.
I am not editing the word troubled, so it sounds like ear rape from Super Butter Buns. But yes, it definitely sounds like this movie's production was troubled.
Honestly, I mentioned in the previous podcast that Aliens, Aliens took a step forward with making the threat bigger, badder, more menacing. And then it went into the opposite direction of going back to 1, which is not scary because we know what we can do to the 1.
Mm-hmm.
When you're given weapons.
I think, okay, I am just going to be devil's advocate, and I kind of like doing that. I have been that kind of thing since college. Is that while this movie is inferior to the first 2 movies, we can't deny that it did kind of expand on the lore a little bit when it comes to the xenomorph.
Oh, I'm not denying that.
Okay.
It had good ideas.
It had a good idea. It did have a good idea. This is actually the film that establishes that a xenomorph takes on the characteristics of its host.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, in the first 2 movies, they were bipedal, but they were able to go on 4 legs, and this one, it is mostly quadrupedal.
Mostly quadrupedal, though. I think that's what most aliens after this movie started moving more on quadrupedal. Not that they were, but that's how their movements were, because it was more terrifying, unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
No, more alien. Excuse my punning. And it had great ideas, but again, remember when I said in that previous podcast that even though there was more aliens in Aliens, it didn't linger onto them. It didn't linger on the creatures so long that you could laugh at it. I watched this movie and you get to see green. I swear to God, I see the green outline of it.
Yes, it is filmed on green screen, and in some points you can actually see green spill on it.
And so, I look at it and I'm just, it ruins it. It ruins it. And POV shots
would have worked better. It would have worked better if they were kind of spaced out more throughout the whole movie instead of just that one part, condensed to that one part.
Yeah, it works better when you're picking apart survivors. It works better when you're. That's a good way to make you scared.
Mm-hmm. Ian, what is your opinion of the third Alien movie?
Oh boy, I do agree that it had a couple good ideas, and the setting I really enjoyed. It's very different. I mean, the first Alien film was rather clean as far as the setting goes. Like it's well maintained. It's not dirty. The second one was a damaged setting due to the xenomorph infestation on Hadley's Hope. And this one, it takes a weird direction. First, and along with the setting comes characters. First one we just had, standard blue-collar workers thrust into an extraordinary situation. Second one, we had soldiers thrust into a situation that they couldn't handle. This one, its setting is very dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I see the
grungy,
sets.
and the characters,
Colorful.
that's one way to put it. They are criminals, rapists, and murderers.
No. I wanna say something. It is really outdated considering the double Y chromosome. That was really not really a thing. That was just a product of its time.
I honestly had not. I don't remember hearing about that, and I didn't even.
Yeah, that was a study back then.
Okay.
No, men with double Y chromosomes are predicted to be more violent than the typical man.
Okay, firstly, that's not even. There are aberrations, but I don't think humans can have a double Y chromosome.
Apparently, it is possible, but again, just because having a double Y doesn't make you more violent.
Double Y chromosome syndrome. I know, I'm doing on-the-fly Googling. That's what we do in this podcast.
That's on the fly. Okay.
Okay, it is possible from this one website right here on top of Google. Females typically have two X chromosomes, 46XX, and males have one X chromosome and one Y, 46XY in each cell. 47XYY syndrome is caused by the presence of an extra copy of the Y chromosome in each of a male's cells. Some males with 47XYY syndrome have an extra Y chromosome in only some of their cells. So apparently it is a thing, but
the idea that double Y is linked to
aggression,
insanity or criminal behavior is more like a correlation.
Yeah,
correlation, not causation.
Yeah, and so it's laughable to me when I saw it. I'm like, oh my god, this is so dated. It's like watching Jurassic Park and seeing the top of the line CD-ROM by a Unix system, and like, oh my god, this is so 90s.
An interactive CD-ROM.
Yeah, remember that was such innovation.
I have never came across any of those interactive CD-ROMs.
Oh man.
Unless that's what they called computer games on CD.
Yeah.
But
regardless, I will say the set was impressive.
Sets, yes, that's what I like about it. I like the sets, and honestly, I kind of do like the mood. It is very depressing, and it maintains it throughout. Except for a couple of moments where its datedness actually shows, like when.
The green screen.
Not the green screen. I'm talking about how when the alien just pretty much just snatches a guy up from his head. Think like Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And Venom. Blood pours down. Blood pours down. All the inmates are scared, and then one guy goes, "Well, I can't really say it now because of YouTube. Yeah, thank you, fudge." And then it just cuts. And it's like, honestly, that's kind of that's a good punchline to end on.
It's a good punchline. It feels like it's setting up what. Okay. It's setting up what Resurrection's gonna be like more often. And okay, just to boil down what my thoughts on this. I feel like it was a step backward to a lot of things. The fact that we really can't make the alien more menacing by going back to 1 felt is a step back. It's a step back to Ripley's character as a whole, because she acts so meek in a way. She's like, I know she lost everything, but remember, we just went through the second movie of she went through hell to get Newt back. She went through a nest.
And only to lose her.
And okay, and that's another thing. It was like, slap in the face.
Just slap in the face. All your efforts mean nothing.
All that, everything that we accomplished in Alien 2 was for naught. I think that's the reason a lot of people hate this movie, myself included, because everything that we accomplished in Alien 2 was for nothing.
I think the reason why I'm kind of a little bit more forgiving of this movie is that I just like the choice of actors that they've got.
Well, and that was another thing I wanted to bring up. The actors are very peculiar in this case.
Okay, there are a few that I think were really good choices in this movie.
Oh yeah, I call him Roland, our hunters in here.
Pete Postlethwaite.
I had to make a joke while I was viewing that you can hunt a dinosaur, but you can't hunt a xenomorph.
At least you can avoid a Tyrannosaurus by not moving. If you don't have but with a xenomorph, if you don't have any weapons, a flamethrower or anything, you are far past fudged. And let's see. Also, Charles Dance, who plays the medical officer. The reason why I'd like to bring him up is that I think he was also in Last Action Hero. He was the bad guy for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's right.
But he is the original vampire in Dracula Untold, the one that gives the line "Let the games begin." And honestly, I think that movie just got unfairly swept under the rug from Universal.
It did. Though, honestly, you know the character that stand out the most to me?
Oh, please. Oh, wait, I think I know who you're talking about, but please, go on.
I don't know his name, but he plays the 8th Doctor.
Oh, Paul, I thought you were talking about the other guy. Yes, Paul McGann, my doctor is in this, and he's a crazy person.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
But the other guy I was going to mention that is a standout is Dylan. I don't know who his actor is, but...
he's another Charles.
Charles?
Charles S. Dutton. Let's see, what was he in? He was in Gothica, A Time to Kill, Rudy!
Ooh.
He was in Rudy! Okay, let's see, okay, I'm gonna scroll down because on IMDb they list the actors, from, recent to past. So let's... he was a director, too.
Huh.
Oh, that shouldn't be surprising.
But he had, for some reason, he has such a more of a standout performance.
He was in Crocodile Dundee 2.
Huh.
Leroy Brown. Let's see. Menace to Society. Oh my god, he was in Are You Afraid of the Dark? No way!
Are you serious?
The Tale of Cutter's Treasure. Oh, that two-parter! Oh my god, I gotta see that again now.
I gotta check this out.
7! He was in 7! Huh. Okay, so apparently, like James Cameron, David Fincher has core actors that he works with.
Well, that's good that he found an actor he could use.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, A Time to Kill. Jack Reed, Death and Vengeance. Who's Jack Reed?
Mimic. Ooh.
Mimic, okay. Another Alien movie.
Well, good enough movie.
Oh, let's see.
The
Sopranos. He was in an episode of The Sopranos.
Huh. Seems like he Oh, I think I just realized who he played as.
Huh.
The cop in Mimic.
Oh, okay. And let's see. Gothica with Halle Berry. Secret Window with Johnny Depp.
Now, Ian.
And he was in a couple episodes of House from season 2. Rodney Foreman, Eric Foreman's brother.
So, Ian, do you think it was a step backwards in a lot of ways?
Yes, because it left what made Alien Alien, it didn't keep it hidden.
Yeah. That's the other thing that I want to think. Alien 3 is definitely the kind of movie that holds your hand. I think we can all agree our biggest nitpick, our biggest head scratcher, our biggest WTH moment is the beginning.
Why was there an egg? How there was an egg? When did the queen lay it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an egg laid by the queen hatched a facehugger that was able to impregnate Ripley while she was in hypersleep.
No, it also impregnated the dog. I thought they died after impregnating one person.
Yeah.
So I saw a video on this. I'm going to try to summarize this best I can. This is from Alien Theory, a channel that does all this alien stuff from the franchise. So, this is really the most talked about thing in the entire franchise. Not just a movie, not Prometheus, not Covenant. This. How did that egg get there? Because, one, it's not on that dropship. It's tucked away in a corner on the Sulaco.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the queen didn't go in where the pods are. 3, we didn't see the queen grab an egg. We didn't see it grab a face hugger. We didn't see anything. We saw it drop. We saw it chase after them. Newt and Ripley get picked up by the dropship, fly away. And then, after they sat down on the Sulaco and everything nice and peaceful, we see Bishop get impaled through the back by the sword-like tail of the queen. The queen drops down from the landing gear, and Ripley distracts the queen long enough to get away. Newt hides. The queen keeps chasing after Newt, ripping up the grated floor. Then Ripley emerges with the power mech suit, does battle, blasted into space, closes the airlock, and done. At no point at all was the queen in a situation where she could have made a quick getaway, put an egg somewhere, and come back.
Also, I'd like to add, Ian, is that also in both versions, in the theatrical and special edition, she detaches from the egg sac.
It is.
No,
she did. So how could she lay an egg?
You gentlemen, I believe this thing is going to be forever standing the test of time. It's going to be like in Demolition Man. What are those 3 G cells for? How do you use them? We're going to be asking the question of time of how that egg got in that corner of that ship.
I'm starting to and I'm also realizing you're quiet now, just like in the first Alien podcast. Did you not like Alien?
I did like Alien.
You weren't very... I'm starting to see that movies that you absolutely love, you want to shout them from the heaven. Shout to the heaven.
You kept telling me to get quiet in the last one.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I was kind of thinking about my tenants down below.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm respected. And
yeah. And that's kind of what I'm starting to think is that movies that you love, you want to shout from the rooftops, shout from the mountains. I love this movie.
Okay, if I hated Alien, I wouldn't have given it an 8. Instead of this one, I give it like a 5.
Okay, I guess movies that you have issues with, because we praised Aliens to high heaven.
Yes.
Okay. I'm starting to get you now.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
And Alien was not without its flaws.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was good enough. Alien 3 cube power 2 square, I will drop this to hell, was nothing but good. In fact, I have so many issues with it, I want to scream at why, how and why did this take place? And no theories can ever give me a satisfactory answer.
Yeah, this movie and its sequel are so bad that even Fox doesn't consider them canon.
I'll take Resurrection over this any day.
But yes, the Queen does tear away from her ovipositor in Alien. Now
Or
I
what? Oh,
ovipositor.
The egg sac.
Yes.
Okay, that.
And then we.
So we're not all scientists here.
I apologize. But we do see her tear away. Now I would be willing to concede that she might have grabbed an egg at the last possible second on her way out and stored it on her dorsal spine. I would be willing to concede that. That's how it would be able to get on the ship, but not how it would be able to get on the area where, tucked away in a cute little corner, where the sleeping pods are.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is there a theory that Wayland Utani let's put that there?
There is actually, yes. I will link to that video down below on my end of this video.
So that's the only thing I come up with, and at this point, I think they're grabbing for straws at your plot.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, okay, first off, they want the eggs, they want the alien specimen. If they put it there, it makes no bloody sense of why they put it there to begin with. They had the specimen.
Yeah.
So it's counterproductive.
I mean, I guess that's the thing about Alien 3. There's a lot of good ideas and a lot of good uses of sets that's overshadowed by all the continuity breaks of what it seems to do, of how it seems to essentially disregard like the previous movies when it suits them.
Yes. And
now I actually I like the idea that it's a prison planet that Ripley has essentially entered into hell, and even kind of goes with this whole there seems to be this whole religious motif and these prisoners who seem to have embraced God.
We're entering Dante's circle here.
That's what I was thinking, is that Ripley becomes Dante.
But as great as symbology here, it's great symbolism here.
I was gonna say, what is the symbolism?
As great as the symbolism here, it just leaves me simply disappointed. It's so disappointing. I just feel nothing but pity that it has to exist to be hated.
Yeah.
I can't even hate it. I can't even muster the strength to hate it. I just pity exists.
I can't hate it either because I apparently have a high standard for a movie has to be absolute crap for me to make me hate it. Yeah, the last Airbender, even Captain Marvel summoned a meh out of me, and that kind of feels a little bit more like, and that kind of feels a little bit more like Alien 3 to me. Hilariously enough, that comes out that movie set in the 90s.
Yeah.
But crap. Well, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, curse ADD.
But, well, okay. Let me put it this way. It felt like the prison situation. I don't think it was a bad idea. It's interesting sets. It just felt the weirdest. To me, it was the weirdest direction to take the series.
Yeah.
We went from like derelict spaceship where no one can hear you scream to
not just a derelict spaceship, just a towing ship.
A towing ship where no one can hear you scream to full-on battlefield action motif here.
That I guess was the primary inspiration for Halo.
Yeah, primary inspiration for Halo. To all of a sudden prison.
All that hard work and I get sent to prison?
Yeah. Apparently. And not to mention, it's like, I have to wonder, Sigourney Weaver probably entered this movie and was like, just kill my character.
I don't know. I think that might have been actually, from what I read, that was actually kind of planned from the beginning. Actually, what the plan was to actually have 2 sequels after Alien. One was actually focused on a different character and have Ripley and Hicks make a cameo appearance.
Huh.
And then the fourth movie would have been, Ripley's, would be Sigourney's last movie. It would be the last we see of Ripley in that, where she would be killed off. But it's Fox. We know their history.
We know their track record.
Mm-hmm.
Foxy. You're now owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if this has for the worse or the better.
But I'll give this movie its
dues.
I'll give this movie its credit, actually. I'll credit where credit is due. I do kind of like the end. I do like the ending, because that seems to be at least the last shred of the Ripley character that we know from the last movie, where she actually defies the company.
Yeah.
She defies surrendering over to the company, and instead leaps into, the bowels of the lead works to be incinerated. And depending on which version you watch, again, the special edition, which was based off the assembly cut, is that she just drops into the fiery smoke, arms spread out, just like Jesus on the cross.
I am Jesus. I am Jesus.
And that's it. However, in the theatrical version, which I think has the better ending, is that
the chest burster.
The chest burster.
And she's cradling it like a child.
Like her child. And what I like about that ending is that her death is finally what gives her peace from this never-ending nightmare.
Well,
this nightmare that took her friends, took her crew, took her family, both of them, and I said both.
Oh, okay.
No counts, and was just about to take her life.
Well, no.
That's why I think the ending kind of redeems it a little bit. That's kind of what makes it passable. It's passable.
Now, you know what my favorite part is?
What?
Take a guess. Ian, what do you think my favorite part is? Even though this is a dumpster fire of a film, I have a favorite part. I wonder if you guys can guess it.
I think I might know.
I think I do too.
Ian, you go first.
The funeral.
The funeral?
Where, the funeral / the birth.
Very good-ish. It's very symbolic, I'll admit.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
I'm going to guess Dylan's death.
That is an awesome way to go out, I will say. But no.
Oh yeah, he didn't go out like a pansy.
No, he didn't. No. Bishop.
Bishop didn't die. That Bishop.
Yeah. Bishop.
Ah.
When she has to access the flight recorder. The conversation with Bishop, it almost felt like it was an alien movie again. It almost felt like we were back where we were. And just see Bishop like, I'm useless now. I'd rather be disconnected.
My legs hurt. And I also kind of like that when he's rebooted, that he still comments on Ripley's hair. I like your new haircut.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like that. That's the other thing that I gotta praise about the movie, is that the animatronic of Bishop we knew it was fake, but it was so intricate that, especially in the mouth area, that it was very detailed. I gotta praise it for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ian, what's your favorite part?
Oh boy, the funeral and the birth, I have to say, it's up there. There's the scene in the medical bay where, okay, we have to talk about that. This is an interesting development with Ripley. In the first movie, she's something of an asexual character. She could be written as a man or a woman, and nothing would really change. Second movie, she takes on a very maternal. She's caring for Newt. She seems to develop a romance with Hicks. And in this, but she's still part of a nuclear family, you know, full of honor and all that, in Aliens. In this one, she seemed to be sleeping with the doctor.
Yeah. I recognize that. I was kind of... What the... blah, 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 blah.
No, nothing against that, but it just out of nowhere for me.
It kind of blindsided me, like, what?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. It did feel a little out of place.
Out of character.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned that scene is my favorite quote. I'm one of the family. I thought that was great sardonic humor.
Yeah, I have a favorite line too, but Ian, I think we still haven't heard your favorite scene. But I thought, or at least I think you mentioned it. It just sounded like you were listing. Though.
Yeah. Well, the birth scene was pretty good. Although I can only comment on the birth scene that I have seen, because there is two.
Yes. In the special edition, it's not a dog that gets impregnated. It's a dead ox.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. No. Okay. That was a good one.
Gotcha, man.
That was a good.
Oh boy.
But for realsies.
For realsies.
What and where and how? I not in no certain order, but please enlighten me.
Aren't facehuggers usually supposed to attach to living organisms?
Yeah.
Yes, I have not seen this ox scene, but I will tell you what I know. Just go to Alien Theory for more viewers.
Or you can go to Xenopedia, the Alien vs. Predator wiki.
That just sounds weird. Xenopedia.
Okay, so apparently, for uses of food and labor, the prisoners on Theory 161 is the planet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember it because I don't care.
It's
Exactly.
no LV-246 or 426.
Yeah.
It's certainly not LV-426.
According to Alien Theory, apparently they had them on hand for food and for labor. Apparently they used 2 oxen to pull the wreckage of the escape pod from the Sulaco out of the water, and at some point a facehugger gets out and impregnates an ox while it's in the butcher room, and then pop diddly doo, out comes baby. Fully, and we have to talk about this even more.
Baby.
The baby, it's not a chest burster, it's a semi-fully formed xenomorph. Quadrupedal, of course, but it's not a chest burster. It comes out basically fully formed, arms, leg, long tail.
Front and back?
No, not from the back. It's still, it still pops out from the front.
Okay.
It's more like how, you remember how the alien that popped out of the dog, how it was kind of almost juvenile, not really newborn?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're going for, Ian?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a little, hello, my baby,
no,
that kind of size.
No.
Okay.
To be honest, I think it would probably be the size of a small Labrador. About that size when it came. Depending on what you're looking at. If you're looking at the dog version, it's severely oversized for the size of its host. So if you're
Yeah.
looking at the arcs, it's about the right side.
Again, this movie's giving me a headache with continuity issues.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yes.
This is why I like Resurrection. At this point, it didn't care. It didn't attempt to. It just made its
Resurrection
own
would
rules.
Resurrection just wanted to have fun. That's really all it could do at that point.
Exactly.
But that's for
And
next
so-
week.
That's for
Yes.
next week. But, like, if it's just kind of weird because, you know, I know, like, not all trilogies are made to be happy. You know, 3-part structure, you got the beginning, middle, and end. But I really did wanted this trilogy to end on a triumphant note. And it did?
Sort of.
Ish. You know, I mean, the company doesn't get what it's wanted. It did get this bioweapon.
Ripley had got to use what was left, what little she had left of her badassery before it was written completely out of the movie.
Exactly. And that's the biggest gripe I had. Her badassery is nowhere. That is my biggest gripe. Like, she had remains. Like, it was just shredded. Yeah, she punched an inmate. Then after that, it was kind of dormant.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You were talking about your favorite. You've mentioned your favorite line in the movie. How I'm part of the family.
Yeah, you've been in my life for so long.
That's my favorite line. Yeah, you've been in my life so long, I can't even remember anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very good line, and kind of speaks so much volumes of how traumatized she is by this creature, and that the company has pretty much had a hand in it.
Yeah.
That she can't even remember her old life. That's again why I like that. I like that she died at the end, because that gives her peace.
I know, but again, I just wish it didn't come at the expense of what we had achieved to the previous film.
Uh-huh.
And that will always be the case. There's no tiptoeing around it. That is what everyone hates.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I'll give... Well, at least we're not spending so much time talking about her haircut.
Well, yeah. Though the joke still remains, every movie it gets shorter.
Yes.
Is there anything past this one?
Like, bald.
Fully bald.
Bald. In this one, she just has a buzz cut.
Yeah, it's like, can we get shorter than this? You're trying
Bald.
me, dude.
Yeah, bald. What if there was a 6th movie? How short could he be? How about just a skull? Then the next one would have been the brain.
Yeah.
Then the 7th one, just no head.
Exactly.
No head at all.
Just exactly. Because it keeps feeling like each movie they're cutting more and more and more and more off. It's like an onion. We're peeling it away.
I'm not gonna get...
Onions have layers.
Yes, newsflash. There ain't no core to an onion.
Oh god. But yeah, credit as you mentioned, credit where credit's due. Concepts, there were good concepts. I love how we mentioned about the alien adapts to what host it attaches itself to. That's good. That's more knowledge. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wish it didn't conflict with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. Okay, here's the biggest nitpick. Continuity issues bug me so much. But that was even overshadowed by one thing. You're at a maximum security prison with no weapons. How do you control your inmates? We have an honor system.
Let's see. I think in the special edition, there's a few seconds added in where they say fear.
Of what? Fear of what? Of 2 guys?
Fear
Or
of
3
God.
guys? The doctor, the warden, and his minion?
Fear of God. That's actually a good point.
God.
Remember they can. I can say shit. It's not a slight against God.
Again, it feels so mind-numbingly stupid.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know, for me, the movie is watchable. It's passable because I like the use of color and I like the sets, and I like some of the POV shots and the ending.
That's it.
Yes. And you know, I'd like to see Paul McGann, and I just like to hear Charles dance. Which, by the way, his character, his revelation, that I do have a nitpick on.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's on a maximum security prison, they mark their prisoners with a barcode on the back of their tattoo. No, they're not master assassins like a hitman.
Oh, you're talking about that scene.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, but only prisoners get barcodes. So he was a prisoner on this, and it's not revealed until like halfway through, and so but it's built up as like this very, very horrible thing.
No one must know.
Yes, that's like your history, your past. Like what did he do? What did he do to get thrown into a prison that's full of rapists and psychopaths?
I mean, what could be worse? Can we get lower to adult women? Did he go that low?
Or how about or children?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Children? Oh dear.
No, it turns out a malpractice.
What?
Yes, he was responsible for the deaths of a few people during an accident because he gave them too much painkillers while he was drunk.
Yep.
More than a little drunk, as he said.
I'm pretty sure that is, I don't know, what's the correct word, over or under?
Overkill.
Overkill. That's not worth secreting. That is not even worth of, do you want me to release your past? It's like, please do. It's not really that big of a deal.
Ian, I saw you had your hand up.
Compared to everyone else on this freaking planet, that guy is a freaking saint.
Yes,
exactly.
And this.
No, I didn't.
Go ahead, Tyler. I need to formulate my thoughts.
I did like the app description the crazy guy said. It's a dragon! Dragon! Dragon!
Oh, so that's where that classification comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on the wiki, it's actually they actually rank that as dragon.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or maybe that's just how they're calling it. No, then I think it's just that particular one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's the dog hybrid, so I'm guessing that's what they call it to differentiate the others.
Mm-hmm. The dragon.
The dragon.
The doctor calls it a dragon. I like how the fact that the doctor appears in an Alien movie before he actually gains 2 hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. It's a Whovian thing. The Doctor is a Time Lord. Time Lords have 2 hearts.
Actually, you guys want to know something? Let me tell you something about when I was a kid. You know, I lived right next to a convenience store. It was back in the time when there was a thing called movie rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I would just, bored. I would go over there and to see what movies they would have to rent, And I've seen Alien³ and, I take a look at it. It's like, huh. Flip it over. And you know what the scene that is the most prevalent? It's like, this iconic scene. The alien with his breath near Ripley's face.
Yeah, that's right here on this DVD case.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one. Yeah.
I even seen that on like a few, I think promotions for Fox Entertainment's line, when they were promoting their we have all these movies we make that are now available for purchase. That's one of them, and they use that scene.
I don't know. What do you guys think of that scene? That scene.
And the hospital scene. Okay, well let's see.
It's scary, but it would have worked better if the alien wasn't green screened.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say though, it's pretty well timed. I mean, we learn about the Doctor's past and apparently malpractice is there. I'm not undermining the seriousness of malpractice here, but
Oh yeah.
compared to everything else,
Compared to everything else.
Yes. What the inmates are in for? I mean that
He is a saint.
you might as well
Call him the Pope.
put him in jail for littering.
Okay, on that planet, he might as well be the Pope. Frickin' with Dylan as the Cardinal.
There's a lot of religious themes in this movie. That's pretty apt.
It is.
yeah, and we actually have to talk about this because the religious themes are all over the place. We have the quote-unquote virgin birth of a sacred female, if you want to take it that way. We have a quote-unquote dragon, and I just watched a video today on this. It actually goes very in deep. There's a lot of similarities between this movie and the Book of Revelation. You know, end of the world. There's a dragon. There's a maiden with a virgin maiden with a child. The dragon will eat the child at some point.
Wow.
Completely forget. I would.
Jeez, it almost sounds like Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Don't put that on the same level. At least Evangelion's entertaining.
I'll have to.
I mean, inspiration-wise.
Okay.
Okay, they got it from the same thing. So that would. So like the Seven Seals.
Something like that, yes. And then of course Gallic seems to have this really strange thing that was actually scrapped since this Christianity-based religion that the prisoners have seems to be heavily centered around the end of the world. He viewed himself as Adam and Ripley as Eve, and they're supposed to repopulate. That was scrapped. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Again?
Well, there were a lot of ideas that were scrapped, and some of them actually would come into later Alien movies. Like in Alien, there was an idea where maybe the crew actually did have sex with each other just to out of boredom, because what else did they have to do? That was scrapped, but it came up in Prometheus.
Yep, and Covenant.
So yeah.
Because way to go, way to make your Alien movies feel like teenage, horror movies again.
More like Teenage Wasteland.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't have so much of a problem of a religious theme if it actually managed to pull it off, which I felt it didn't.
There's not much of I'm not really getting a lot of religious imagery or even religious subtext.
Yeah,
It feels out of place.
I mean,
Really,
there are some
really
shots, like in the meeting hall, where the camera pans up at literally everyone, and it's basically like a cathedral. I can get that. I can get the shot of the cross made out of scrap wood on the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the portion you guys want.
Oh yeah, it's in both versions.
Okay.
But really, the only religious thing I get is just from the dialogue.
Yeah.
The dialogue and some shots.
Honestly, it just feels out of place when it tries to do it. And look, if you want to do symbolicism, you got to do it right. If you're going to try to make this religion, you got to do the camera work as well as the speeches. You can't just half-ass it. Otherwise, it'll just come out as stupid.
As just preachy.
Preachy. I mean, good God. You know why the first two movies worked so well? It committed. It committed to something and went all the way.
So I think that's the other reason why maybe this movie doesn't do so well, is that it doesn't really have kind of like an established
Identity.
identity. It's got some personality, but not as much as Alien 2, as Aliens.
Yeah. It doesn't have a person.
It doesn't-
Even Alien had personality. Alien had an atmosphere. It had its own setup. Aliens had its own setup with quirky people
Mm-hmm.
and bravado.
Alien. It's a mess.
Yes.
It's a big mess that honestly probably should have been split into 2 movies. They should have gone with the whole 2 movie ideas, because I think there's so many in here that we just can't really get a grasp on them.
Yeah. Again, I just want to direct my hate towards something else, and that is towards Covenant. I hate Covenant more than this thing. That just if you guys want to know my worst list, this is my worst list from worst to best. It goes from Alien Covenant, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien, and Aliens. I'm not counting Prometheus. That is a spinoff. To me.
But it's a prequel to Covenant, which is itself a prequel to Alien.
Yes, and I still am not counting it. My opinion.
All right. As it currently stands with me, my worst to best list is, and these are only just the movies that I've seen. Alien 3, Alien, Aliens.
Ian?
Oh boy. Well, Alien 3 and Resurrection for me are tied. They sit right above Prometheus.
So,
I despise Prometheus with a burning passion.
No, okay. Let me say, if I had to include Prometheus, it's above Covenant.
And then I'd have to say, well, I do agree that Covenant had some problems. I overall enjoyed it because it's the first modern Aliens movie that I saw, and it's part of the trailer that actually got me into the franchise. That's what Covenant did. The trailers introduced me to this franchise.
Okay.
And then
Fair
after
enough.
that, it goes Aliens and then Alien. So Prometheus is way at the bottom.
You want to know my problem with Covenant, though? I feel it's forgettable.
I can agree, yeah. Although now I'm a big fan of creepy.
Prometheus, with all its flaws, at least has David and a memorable scene.
Okay, yeah. But for me, now I'm a big fan of creepypastas. I love creepypastas, Slender Man, and but
Black Eyed Children.
yeah, and one of my favorite creepypastas of all time is The Rake.
The Rake.
The Rake. And something I loved about the Neomorph in Covenant is that it really reminded me of The Rake. That's my take on it, but we're not even talking about Alien³ anymore.
Well, I think we are done with it. We really got
Are we?
nothing else to
I got something to
Like-
talk about. I like the use of foreshadowing. in Alien³. For all the hate that Alien³ gets, I don't want to just jump on the bandwagon. There has to be at least some praises for it, and I like the foreshadowing, like the funeral scene, which is the death scene, also is kind of what also, is what foreshadows Ripley's death, or at least is that's what gives Ripley the idea of the sacrifice. There's also another shot that foreshadows how they ultimately killed the alien. Is that their first attempt was to try to trap it into the toxic waste disposals. But you know, and so they have torches, and then they pour gasoline all over to try to lure it away because it still hates fire, even if it uses different DNA. Use different DNA to be born. But something goes wrong. It is blown. It is the gasoline is lit prematurely, so everything is hot, and then the sprinkler system comes on, and you see a shot of a bucket that is rapidly cool, and it breaks apart. That's how the alien gets killed at the end. It is submerged in hot lead, and you think it's dead, but you know, nope, still alive. Still alive, but then the sprinkler system kicks on, and then all that hot metal that's doused in is rapidly cooled, and so metal shrinks when it gets cold. And I guess the mixture of hot and cold was just too much that it exploded.
John?
Yes?
Do you remember what we said when you came over and I was rewatching it?
Yes.
And you asked me a question, like, what happens when something hot cools down rapidly? You know what I said?
It explodes?
No, I said it kills Alien. As a joke.
Mm.
Like, so that's my lesson of the day. It's like, well, what happens when something hot rapidly cools down? It kills an alien, apparently.
Oh, you were talking about the franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
It kills the Alien franchise. Okay.
Honestly, I don't know what else to talk about, because I gave it... I concede that there are some good things, but it cannot, like... You can give it that it has good things. You can list it all you want, and I will still say that will never... It's climbing Mount Everest of overcoming the crap it has to climb over to be good.
Mm.
It's like climbing a Mount Everest of dumb.
Okay. And yeah, and I think I've now said all I wanted to say until actually the end of this podcast, where I just remembered, oh wait, there's something else. Damn it.
What?
No, I mean that's what will probably happen.
Okay.
No. So yeah, I guess, gentlemen, what did we all think?
Actually, I retract my earlier statement. It's 4 stars.
It's 4.
With no thumbs.
Okay, so not even down?
Not even down.
Okay. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, story is, as well as handling of the as continuity is poorly handled, but the visual effects are not all too impressive. But some shots, like the slow-mo shots, the cinematography that showcases the sets, and let's see, the acting, the choice of actors, and the ending, it makes it passable. As I said, so it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
Now, let's just say, me not giving any thumbs up is more neutral than anything. I don't hate it to give it a thumbs down.
Oh, I'd give it a thumb sideways. That's neutral for me.
Yeah. Thumbs down is something more deserving of hatred.
Ah.
As
Starbender.
Yes. And as I stated, I don't even hate this film. I kind of just pity it.
Yeah.
I can't... What the...
It's too humid in this room, so it's okay.
I think an alien's here.
Oh, get out of here, you bitch.
Do you have a flamethrower?
It's hot in this room. It practically is a flamethrower.
Okay, I'll go get your Spaceballs kit.
Okay. Anyway, Ian?
While this film does have some serious issues. I do have to say it. For me, it has its own charm. It's good because of how insanely bad it is. You walk through it. You walk through it and you're looking for the few glimmers of hope. You're looking for the new design of the alien. Not counting the special effects, just the design of the alien. You're watching the story and progression of Ellen Ripley unfold. You really wonder why some of the people are even there. You laugh at 85.
Oh yeah.
But
actually, you just brought up someone I forgot existed, and I hated it.
85?
Okay, first off, what was his point? Like, I get why he got the nickname. I don't get why he did what he did at the end. He was set. Is he really that dumb?
No, I think he realized that Ripley was telling the truth. That the company, he thought that the company would help them. They would help her destroy that thing, only to realize that she was right all along. That the company doesn't give a crap about them.
No, like Ellen said, if the company doesn't care about its workers or Marines, what makes the people there think that they're going to care about some good-for-nothing low-life criminal?
He did call the real Bishop an android.
Mm-hmm. Cause he thought he was, because could have been lying when he told Ripley that I am very human.
True.
But
he lied. Yeah. Ian.
Asimov, though. Asimov lies. You can't. Robotic laws, so.
The film it has a legacy in and of itself. This is the thing that. Oh, never mind. It actually didn't.
Killed it.
Put it in a bucket of molten lead. No, I was going to say this is what killed the Alien franchise, but I just remembered that it was only 6 years until the next one was made. So I retract that statement. But
okay, if execs are desperate, they'll find a way.
Mm-hmm. Money.
I'll concede
Follow the
that.
money.
But I mean,
resurrection.
Jeez.
Alien
Who will
3
resurrect Alien?
tried.
Okay,
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Alien 3 tried to be what it was, and this is a textbook example on how executive meddling into a director's vision and wanting to create something can really screw it up. Now, we can't be mad at David Fincher because he hates this film, and he tried his hardest to work with the people at Fox to make it good. There's even something on here, on the home media section of Wikipedia for this film. The bonus disc for Alien 3 in the 2010 quadrilogy set includes a documentary on the film's production that lacks Fincher's participation, as the clips where the director openly expresses anger and frustration with the studio were cut. The documentary was originally named, get this, Wreckage and Rape, after one of the tracks on Goldenthal soundtrack, but Fox renamed it simply The Making of Alien 3. The clips were restored for the 2010 Blu-ray release of the anthology set, with the integral documentary having a slightly altered version of the wreckage in the intended name Wreckage and Rape. So this is a textbook example on how studios meddling in with what apparently was a decent enough script that Fincher wanted to take it on. And I've seen some of his other films, Fight Club, and I saw some of it. I couldn't sit through it. That's high school film class for you. But I enjoyed those, and he seems like a competent director. Some of the problems I think he had was, I think this was one of his first films he ever made. I mean, according to Wikipedia, he was a music video director. I think that might have been the problem. He didn't know how to stand up for himself so he could make a good movie.
I think this is the movie that gave him the experience of what to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it also explains why he can easily, just write off that movie as, no, this is not my first movie at all. This was a horrible experience.
Yes, and for me, Alien 3, while I can enjoy it for what it tries to offer, it does not do, in my opinion, the series justice. We had 2 fantastic movies, and then we get this. How much did this make, John?
Let's see. It had a budget of $50 million, and its worldwide gross, according to its wiki, almost $160 million.
Mm-hmm.
Barely enough to break even. I don't know when you think it broke even.
I don't even know how.
I don't even know what inflation was, though.
I don't know either. And honestly, I don't know if that counts promotion. I don't know how heavily promoted this movie was.
I don't remember it promoted at all.
Let's see. Well, on its opening weekend, it barely made half of its budget, according to IMDb.
According to Wikipedia, the film was released in the United States May 22nd, 1992. Film debuted at a number 2 of the box office behind Lethal Weapon 3 with a Memorial Day weekend gross of $23.1 million. So not even half. It screened in 2,227 theaters for an average gross of $8,733 per theater. The film was considered a flop in North America, with a total of $55.4 million, although it grossed $104.3 million internationally, or a total of $159.7 million. It is the second highest earning Alien film, excluding the effect of inflation, and had the 28th highest domestic gross in 92. 28th highest domestic growth. So this is basically how not to do a film. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the rating?
Oh boy, I mean, I have to agree. I don't hate this movie. I feel sorry for it. I take pity on it.
Still like me.
Yeah, it's just so sad that this could have been one of the best Alien films ever. It could have been, apparently, based on what I've heard, and it just doesn't stack up to even the first one. So, to be honest, my rating is, I gotta say, it's a 4 stars out of 10. I just feel so bad for Alien 3. Yeah, what they did with Bishop, Newt, and Hicks, it just, I mean, even here, critical response, James Cameron chimed in.
Oh
no. What did he say?
Oh boy.
Let's see here.
I bet he had some biting words.
Quote here from critical response section of the Alien 3 Wikipedia. 3rd paragraph down. Cameron, in particular, regarded the decision to kill off the characters of Bishop, Newt, and Hicks as a slap in the face to him and to fans of the previous film. upon learning of Hicks' demise, Vine demanded and received almost as much money for the use of his likeness in one scene as he had been paid for his role in Alien. So the actor who played Hicks nearly made his money back. He was like paid more because his likeness. He basically made double.
Gentlemen, if I might inquire, how would you start off the movie?
Let's see, I would actually turn it into, like, more... I would actually bring it back to its roots of mystery by just completely getting rid of any scenes that show the face hugger and impregnating Ripley.
Okay.
And just not showing the face hugger or the egg at all.
Would you kill off Newt and Hicks, or would have brought them in? What would you have done with the characters?
That's a very good question. I'm on the fence on that one.
Because you got to do something with them. You can't just do what Alien 3 did and just made everything in the previous movie null without a good reason.
I probably would have. I don't know.
I might have killed off Hicks. I probably would have had Newt still alive.
Mm-hmm. But who would you get to replace her? Because remember, this came out in 1992, 6 years after Aliens.
True. But...
And the actor was reportedly too old to revise the role.
Mm-hmm. So I probably would have killed off Newt because it would have probably used up too much time to find it would have cost too much time to just find a suitable replacement.
I would have to disagree. And that's me.
And I didn't want it, and otherwise then we'd invoke the trope the other Darren.
But that's not bad. Look at Iron Man and Iron Man 2.
Don Cheadle was able to actually make that character his own after Terrence Howard.
Yes, so the other Darren is not a bad thing.
Okay, but it's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
It's a roll of the dice. But that would mean I would keep Hicks, since it did kind of imply there was in James Cameron's version there is implied romantic feelings.
But yeah, just to at least kill him off on screen much later rather than unceremoniously crash.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give some honor.
Mm-hmm. Apparently there was an idea where actually there would be a chestburster coming out of Hicks, killing him. That'd have been, as opposed to being impaled on the chest as it happened in the movie. That be dignified?
I would prefer that, yeah, because it's not a happy franchise. So I think having this organism that Ripley has been fighting against to kill off the man that she's come to love, yes, I think I would like that.
I would have preferred that.
Okay.
Well, I really think we're at the end of the rope here.
I know, we really are. It's just a little bit shorter than our last week's review, but only by about 10 minutes. But yeah, I think we just wanted to get this one over with. Funny enough, I thought this movie would give us a lot to talk about, but apparently we just didn't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, we got straight to the point.
Yeah. The movie's bad. But there are worse ones in this franchise.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although I do have to say that the tagline for this film does not hold up. Listen to this. Listen to this.
What's the tagline?
3 times the suspense. 3 times the danger. 3 times the terror.
Are you kidding me?
No. 3 times the no.
3 times the no, 3 times the... Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yes. No, and no. There's a tagline for you. 3 times the no. N-O. No.
Or as in what was it in Superman Returns, Kevin Spacey? Wrong.
It's like you're punishing a dog. No. Don't do that.
All right. I'm ready. I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. It's getting
I don't
late
want to
over
talk
here
about
on
this
the East Coast.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this review. We will see you next time for the fourth and oddly named final movie in the franchise.
Resurrection.
I just realized something. These past 2 films, we never did a cold opening. We need to fix that for this next one.
Oh, I think I know the perfect one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. See you next
guys.
time.
See you guys.
See ya.